fell off the stage. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second live-streamed Provo Writers Round. Tonight we have two amazing local writers. We have Talin, Everett, and we have Angie Petty. Because there's only two people tonight, we're going to be doing something a little different. There'll be a couple times tonight where I'll sit down and we'll talk a little bit more in depth and get to know these artists a little bit more, and I'm very excited for that. I'm so excited to have these two on the show. We've tried to have them on a couple times, but just things kept getting in the way, and so I'm very excited for them to be here now. We're going to have some fun tonight, and we hope you do as well. So take it away.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to invite my friend up, Sam. So Sam and I met on a writer's retreat, actually, in Moab, which is perfect for the Writers Round. We wrote a song called, well, I just named it in the car because I could not decide what to name it, but it's going to be Alien, parenthesis, a cosmic tragedy, close parenthesis. It's basically about that maybe some of us are a little lonely for our whole lives because our soulmates are on a different planet. And so, I mean, at least that's how I'm explaining it away. So, here we go.
I thought I saw you fly across Scorpio. Maybe it's the alcohol, but I know I loved you out across earthly lines. Maybe it's just in my mind. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'll search the valley side. Ooh, ooh. I'll turn towards the sky, falling to our past life. I'm calling, hear my heart's cry. How do you sleep? Can you see me? Can you see me? Inside your dreams, I'm screaming. Can you hear me? Ooh, 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 I thought I met you underneath the harvest moon,
That was really beautiful.
Thank you.
That was really nice. I like the title too.
Thank you.
I'm glad you thought of that, just barely. Okay, my name's Angie Petty. The first song I'm going to be playing is called In the Rain. And I wrote it right after I graduated college and moved back to Salt Lake. And it was raining one day. And I feel like there's a lot of songs out there about rain, but it's kind of in a melancholy way. Like, rain is sad, and it's sad when it's raining. But I've always loved the rain, and I always feel like I thrive in the rain. There's something about it. So I wrote about missing someone and wanting to be with them while it's raining, because rain makes you happy, and what better way to be happy than with your person in the rain. So I wrote this I co-wrote it with, it's been through many phases, but I started by myself, and then I brought it to my brothers, Nick and Chris, and then they kind of put their touch on it, and then I had my producer work on it, and we wrote the bridge together. We completely scrapped it and rewrote the bridge, and he had a lot to do with the writing, so it was a very collaborative process. Anyways, this is In the Rain.
Staring out my window, playing my piano, trying to write a song about anything but you, like I usually do. Sky is cloudy, it's raining, and I feel so blue. I'm wondering where you are, wondering what you're up to. I wanna see you, I wanna hold you in the rain. Oh, I've been thinking about you, oh, I've been thinking about you in the rain. In the rain, rain, in the rain, in the rain, rain. I've got a jacket on, but there's only so much it can do. Oh, when it's cold outside, and I wish that this jacket was you. Wish it was you. I wanna see you, I wanna hold you in the rain. Oh, I've been thinking about you, oh, I've been thinking about you in the rain. In the rain, rain, in the rain. Ooh, in the rain, rain. When you say my name, you take away the pain. Only love remains with you in the rain. It's just not the same. I'm the picture in your frame. I feel warm again with you in the rain, rain, in the rain, rain, in the rain, in the rain, in the rain, in the rain, rain, in the rain. Ooh, in the rain,
That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
You're great. Oh my gosh. Okay, this next song that I'm singing is called Kitchen Table. A little bit about this song. It's kind of a very sad song. I wrote it about religious trauma and growing up as a queer kid and in a very religious family, and kind of the repercussions of that. But love is what changes the world, and luckily I have a family that was very supportive and still is trying, and so that's what this is about. Let me get this one sec, guys. Sorry. There we go.
My heart beats for you like the boys at school. And your heart won't do justice, so I just play it cool. Remember my fingers clawing my palms. At the kitchen table I spilled what was wrong. Too young, too scared, too broken by a world that didn't love me the way that you would love me. But now this mess is not a mess. We're trying to make you love me, just trying to make you love me. I can feel your worry each night as I pray to a God that loves me but pushed me away. Dear God, I'm not sure if I'll be saved. For the sake of my mother, consider my case. For the sake of my mother, consider my case. Too young, too scared, too broken by a world that didn't love me the way that you had loved me. But now this mess is not a mess. We're trying to make you love me, just trying to make you love me. Mom, know I love you, I tell you each day. My heart beats for you like the words on this page. Your blood is my blood, and this much I pray. For the sake of my mother, consider my case. For the sake of my mother, consider my case.
Yo, you can write a melody. That was nice.
Thank you.
I'm like, ooh, that was really good. I love songs that the title isn't necessarily said throughout the song, like, because it just makes me like, I'm picturing a kitchen table and like this conversation happening, and that was really nice.
Thank you
Love
so
that.
much. Thanks.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me play my songs. No, just kidding. Okay, let's do Love Letter. So, as I've been writing music, I started in college a few years ago, but I went to music school knowing like I'm just going to get to be a better singer. I'm not going to write music. I'm never going to release music. It's just not something I think I can do. But I did it, and it, so it's like you never know what's going to happen, but a lot of my music is love songs. So instead of writing a love song about somebody else or for somebody else, I decided to write a love song to myself. So it's more of like a self-love. It's a song to sing to yourself. And anyways, it's called Love Letter, and I wrote it I don't even remember. This whole year's a blur, to be honest. I wrote it with Jay Warren, and I brought it to my friend who's producing it. His name is Norbert Bueno, and he put his own spin on it, and which helped kind of morph it further. So the co-writers are definitely Jay and Norbs Bueno, and myself. This is Love Letter. You're the type of girl that won't stop, knows what she wants and then some, makes the whole world stop with those eyes. White ghost when she can fly, 'cause she's everything, everything that I'll ever need, and I'm everything that I've ever wanted. Oh, she's everything, everything that I'll ever need, and she's everything that I ever wanted. I'm in love with that girl in the mirror. Every time that I meet her, I can tell she's just my type. Something about the way she moves feels so familiar. Consider it science you delivered. This is a love letter to myself. Love letter, ooh, love letter to myself. Love letter, ooh, love letter to myself. You're the type that's secure with your insecurities. You took the time to do the work, and you can see through the men that are full of it, but you never let them see you cry. Oh, 'cause I'm everything, everything that I'll ever need, and I'm everything that I ever wanted. Oh, I'm everything, everything that I'll ever need, and I'm everything that I ever wanted. Yeah, I'm in love with that girl in the mirror. Every time that I'm near her, I can tell she's just my type. Something about the way she moves feels so familiar. Consider it science you delivered. This is a love letter to myself. Love letter, ooh, love letter to myself. Love letter, love letter to myself. I want her, I need her, she's everything. Tell her I love her, she's everything.
So good.
Thank you.
I love just the meaning behind that, and
Thank you.
I love that self-love is coming out more in music.
Yeah, I think we need it. We all need to love ourselves just a
True.
little bit more.
These guys are awesome, and I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad. Talin, let's get to know you a little bit.
Let's do it.
Where are you from originally?
So I'm from Cedar Hills, Utah. Just right back there. I've lived there my whole life. 21 years. So
21 long years. It's a
21
beautiful
long
place,
years.
though.
It is
I
really
really like that place.
Yeah.
I'm not from here originally, but I do enjoy visiting
Yes.
up in Cedar Hills area.
very
That's really cool. What high school did you go to?
I went to Lone Peak.
Lone Peak? Okay, so all of you out there that have gone to Lone Peak with this guy, he's famous now. You're famous now.
I'm famous.
You're
you
on
guys.
Facebook TV-ish thing stuff.
Crazy.
So crazy. When did you start doing music?
I started doing music. I started singing at about 4 years old. I was kind of just surrounded by music growing up. My whole family listens to a lot of music. My grandma played the piano and taught me to play the piano. Also, my aunt and my mom taught me the guitar. So it kind of was just in the house so much that it just was naturally what I picked up. So
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Are any of your families musicians or just the casual, we can play and we rock it?
pretty casual. Most of them are really avid listeners to music.
Okay.
And of course my grandma, my aunt, and my mom play, but I'm the one that's kind of been like, hey, this is a realistic career for me, and I've worked hard enough where I just feel like this is what I want to do, and that I could do it. So
Oh, totally. Because there's, with anything, really, there's a million different ways to make $1 million, especially in music. You just have to
Exactly.
work really hard and know the right people, right?
Yep.
So who are some of your musical influences?
some of my musical influences, when it comes to writing, Phoebe Bridgers, Lucy Dacus, Adrian Lenker, and some older ones, of course, Billy Joel, Joni Mitchell. I love those singer-songwriters that can really just tell a story and depend on that a lot, and also just all of those singers' melodies are just incredible. So that's one thing that I really enjoy in music and try to cultivate in my own music is melody and storytelling.
That's awesome. Yeah. And we can definitely tell that there's a lot of stories in your songs, and it comes across really well.
Yeah,
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
I'm really excited to hear the rest of your set.
Thank you.
Let's go to Angie for a second. I'm so glad our schedules matched up, and so
finally.
you can be here. I know. So Angie's come all the way down from Salt Lake, right?
Yep, all the way,
Cool.
all the way.
All the way down is like
A
40,
whole 55 minutes.
55 minutes. So great.
Yeah.
No, I'm really glad you could be here. Did you grow up in Salt Lake?
Yeah, so I was actually born in Maryland, but I moved here when I was like a baby. So pretty much born and raised, haven't lived anywhere else. So
Besides that, okay,
Salt
that's
Lake,
awesome.
yeah.
Did you also start when you were a tiny toddler?
Yeah.
with music?
So I come from a very, very musical family. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. And I feel very fortunate to be in the family that I'm in. But yeah, I grew up dancing, like, competitively when I was little, and singing. And I did it off and on for years. You know, when you're young and you're like, I'm going to play soccer. And then a month later, you're like, I want to do gymnastics. You know, it was kind of that. So music and dancing kind of came in and out of my life, but it wasn't until about 6-7 years ago that I decided it is something I want to pursue as a career. So I've been doing it since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And did you decide that before you went to school? Because you said you went to school for music,
Yeah,
right?
so I should have like a doctorate for how long I was in college.
Me too. Me too.
But no regrets.
Sure.
I switched majors 3 times, and all 3 times are kind of like art majors and financially unstable. So my parents
Right.
are like, okay, if you want. I started as a graphic design major, and I went to UVU. And actually, before that, I was supposed to be a dance major at the U or UVU. And then I was like, graphic design's more, you know, I could make more money doing that. And then I ended up not liking it. Took a little break, and then my brothers, who are musicians, and my husband, they kind of inspired, well, my boyfriend at the time, now he's my husband, but they inspired me to pursue music, and they went to Snow College, and they were like, you should go there, you'd be amazing. And I went, and I have a degree now.
That's awesome. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
So how did your parents take it when you came out to them as a musician?
Well, you know, it's kind of always been in my blood. Like, I've always performed, and I've always been pursuing kind of like I've always been kind of an entrepreneur. I don't last in hourly jobs very well. So, and my brothers, they kind of paved the way. They went to Berkeley in Boston. They're twins, so they both went together. And so my parents were like, yeah, they're doing it, cool. And then when I wanted to do it, they were like, okay, if you really want to. And then I did it anyway. So they were just, I mean, any parents kind of like, I want you to have like a very bright future and I want you to be financially stable. And at the end of the day, like, is anyone financially stable no matter what? Like, we all have bills and credit cards and, you know. So, yeah, I'm really happy in that choice.
Dang.
And I think they're happy that I'm happy. So
That's good. That's good. And we're all very happy that you're here.
thank you.
So, cool. Let's do a couple more rounds, and then I'll come back, and we'll get to know you even more.
Perfect.
Go ahead, Talin.
Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna do you guys a favor and tune my guitar. It is new, so it's kind of coming out of tune real quick. But while I am tuning this bad boy, I'm gonna introduce my next song. So this song is called "Somebody Is Lonely," and this song is kind of about that perhaps loneliness is genetics. And so I'm sorry, I planned a really sad set for you guys today, but one big thing with me in music is I have to be honest. You know, if I'm not being honest through my songwriting, then it's not really worth it to me. So now give me a second. Okay. And this one was written with my friend Angelica. And one thing that they asked me to mention is kind of how you get into doing co-writing. And I think a lot of it, and maybe Angie, you agree with this, is really just asking people in your circle. What I've noticed is a lot of people are open to collaboration in your music. If in the little Provo area, I know I've experienced a lot of co-writing and openness to collaborating. And I think, you know, not all writing collaboration will work, but you know, you might as well try because you might create something great. So without further ado, this is Somebody's Lonely.
Grandma cried when Elvis died. Her conscience back from the dead. And then again, when that wind flew in, standing on the corner and waving down her friends. When you scream in the museum and your painting starts still like a jester at a fair you left town. On that godforsaken night, you packed your heart and booked a flight. Worked some boring 9 to 5 just in spite, just in time. Picture me about 5'3", old enough to pop some pills, not old enough to be. But I'm alive, to my surprise. Smiling for photographs and smiling to be kind. When you grow up in this place and your family partakes, you keep your secrets in the pouch out by the lake. And your thoughts begin to wilt all those secrets you've concealed. And you're gone before you sit behind the wheel. How does that Somebody's lonely as can be. Somebody's lonely. Somebody's lonely as can be. And that somebody is me.
Yes. Love that.
Thank you.
Let's do nowadays. Oh, this is a fun story. Okay, so I met Talin at the Living Room Provo. Picture this, pre-COVID. When
No,
you could,
that's not a thing.
I know. Pre-COVID, let's take it back to February 2020. Well, COVID still was around, but we didn't know about it. So, yeah, there's the Living Room Provo, and they do like a theme night, and we played Beatles. So it was myself and Talin and a few other local artists, and we played one of our original songs, and then we played a Beatles cover, and it's kind of, yeah, like a networking way to get your music out and meet new people. And this next song I actually co-wrote from somebody I met at the Living Room, and his name is Trail Baker, and this is kind of how our collab happened too. He reached out to me, he was like, hey, I loved your song, would love to co-write with you. And I was like, someone wants to co-write with me? Like, oh my gosh, okay. So yeah, like I feel like it's always scary to ask people, but you never know. And we wrote this song in like an hour, and it ended up being, pretty great, I thought. And I released it under my own name last year. No, this year. Everything is a literal haze. Anyways, it's called Nowadays, and I'm in a very fortunate spot at this point in my life. I have met my special person, and I am now married. And so for me, I can write love songs all day. I'm in a healthy relationship, so there's not really much other I can write about. So one thing that really inspired me, one of my favorite songwriters is Amy Winehouse, and in her documentary, she talked about writing from past experiences, or like from a breakup, and you have to remember every single detail about that person, and you have to remember the smell, the way that they looked at you, the way it felt being around them. So I was like, I'm gonna write something from a past relationship that, was traumatic. So I wrote this song based on the idea of when you know that a relationship is reaching its expiration date, you don't want it to, but like you just have this icky feeling that it's gonna be over, but you don't want to be the one to end it. So this one's called Nowadays. Nowadays, I feel like I'm not good enough. Nowadays, it feels like our time is up. Nowadays, I feel like I don't feel your love anymore. Nowadays, I feel like we don't talk enough. Nowadays, I feel like I just sleep too much. Nowadays, I know that I drink too much, all thanks to you. All thanks to you. Nowadays, I'm unable to self-motivate. Nowadays, I don't want to participate. Nowadays, it seems like all I do is wait for the clouds to part so I can mend my broken heart. Thanks to
that have caused me strife. I wanna thank you for being in my life, because you've shown me how to shed my skin, and now you know I'm better than I've ever been. All thanks to you.
Amy would be proud.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Okay, this next song that I'm doing is called Somebody You Loved. And this is most people's favorite that I've written because they think it's a love song. But it's actually about like an unhealthy infatuation with somebody. So I don't usually tell people that. But I mean, the story is I think sometimes when you're dating or when you're meeting new people, you have this idea of, and you meet somebody new, and you have this idea of who they are and the role they're going to play in your life, and you would do anything for them. You would die for them, and it's very unhealthy, and it happens very quickly, and this has happened to me probably, I mean, an unhealthy amount of times, but this is kind of just about that. But if you want to think that it's a love song, just ignore what I just said. It's a love song. Let's check if this guitar is still tuned. We're good.
Can you remember the storm that blew over the city while we watched alone? Blew like your father on call with your brother, who never picked up the phone. And I hate you for making me, but I loved you so easily. So take your eyes off her and give them to me. I'll take care of your demons while you fall asleep. Know the Trojan horse like the cracks in my teeth, but honey, that isn't me. And I may not be the man in your dreams, but I could be, yeah, I could be. No, I don't play ball, not anything at all, but I'd learn how just to have you now. Oh, I would burn at the stake with your name on my tongue, just to be somebody you loved. Somebody you loved. You loved. You loved. You loved. You loved. When we get older, you're the beholder, and I, your tax benefit. No longer your secret. Your neighbors don't mean it when they're calling us heretics. You belong to the devil, but I don't care, just as long as we get to share. So take your eyes off her and give them to me. I'll take care of your demons while you fall asleep. Know the Trojan horse like the cracks in my teeth, but honey, that isn't me. And I may not be the man in your dreams, but I could be, yeah, I could be. mistake with your name on my tongue just to be somebody you loved. Somebody you loved. 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 You
Yes, so much, yes. I get all flustered after because I'm like, you're so good.
Oh,
I like want to just ask you a million questions about your songs, but I'll let you do that behind the camera. Really quick, this is my keyboard player, Kevin Judd. He's amazing.
Ooh,
yes. I brought him because clearly he's an amazing pianist and he can play my music way better than I can. So I'm like very in awe of someone who can accompany themselves and be able to like sing, you know, the way that they want to, because I'm just not quite there yet. So I brought Kevin. This one's called Feel It All, and I co-wrote this with Jay Warren again, and I actually also featured him on this song because I liked what he wrote so much that I felt like he needed to sing it. But the story behind this, I'll make it quick. Also pre-COVID, last year in the summer, I was on a gig, and I was in the green room with the band, and everyone was just like swapping stories of like crazy gigs they've had and weird experiences on corporate gigs. And one of the guys said, I feel like I've lived a million lives. And then I was like, that's cool. So I wrote it down. Fast forward like a few weeks later, and I decided to try to write a song based on production first. So I put in a beat because I'm such a harmonic writer, like I have to have the melody and the harmony, but I thought, why don't I start with a beat first and see if that, you know, does anything. So I started with that, and then I asked Jay to come write with me, and the very first line is that line I wrote from that gig that I heard that guy say, I feel like I've lived a million lives, and that's what wrote the rest of the song. So this is called Feel It All. Keep spinning. This cycle roller coaster. Emotions make me lose my mind. Can't seem to get composure. I don't know what to feel. I feel it all. The weight of what I'm feeling. My hands up to the ceiling. The weight of what I'm feeling. Ooh, I feel it all. This don't feel like me. I think I might be out of my mind. Chasing ghost ideas of what I should be, can't seem to find. And it don't make a difference if I'm right or wrong. I blurred the lines. I
hold it all together happens all the time. But I've been here before, another day, another door. One thing's for sure, this cycle roller coaster, emotions make me lose my mind. Can't seem to get composure. I don't know what to feel. I feel it all. The weight of what I'm feeling. Ooh, I feel it all. The weight of what I'm feeling. Ooh, I feel it all. I feel it all. The weight of what I'm feeling. My hands up to the ceiling. Ooh, oh, I feel it all. The weight of what I'm feeling. I feel it. I feel it all. The weight of what I'm feeling. My head's up to the ceiling. Ooh, the weight of what I'm feeling. Ooh, I feel it all.
Woo!
That was awesome.
Good. Your voice.
That was really cool.
Insanity.
Yeah, good job. Hello. We have one round left. It's been a really fun night. You guys have awesome music. Thank you guys so much for being here again. I really appreciate it. Angie, let's start with you.
Okay.
So, talk to me about co-writing. Like, we heard earlier that all you got to kind of do is just ask people in your circle. But then after that, what do you do? Like, do you go somewhere and you just start bouncing ideas off each other? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, from the co-writing sessions I've had, I have like a little in-home studio, so I always offer my place because I feel like finding a place, especially now, is always kind of the hard part, I guess. I mean, the hard part is sending the message and asking, but usually people are cool and they want to. So, yeah, I always offer my place and then, or wherever, honestly, it doesn't matter. As long as you have something to write with, I think. And then from there, we just meet up, and I don't like to just jump right into it. You kind of want to like talk and, you know, feel it out and see if anything comes up. And, you know, I'll always be like, do you have any ideas you've been working with, or should we start from scratch? And I have like a book of ideas and lyrics and stuff. So sometimes I'll just be like, hey, let's try this and let's see what happens. And I think the most important thing that I've learned is to just have no expectations. Because when you have no expectations, then you don't put yourself in a box, and then you never know what can happen. And, you know, sometimes the session doesn't work. Sometimes, like, nothing is happening. And I think the hardest part is just, like, knowing when to maybe be like, okay, let's not do that anymore. Like, let's leave that idea, or let's come back another day, or maybe this just isn't a co-writing match made, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, that's what I do.
Do you do something similar, Talin,
Yeah,
whenever you co-write?
For sure. I think, like Angie said, it is kind of hard to find a place to do it, and so usually after you reach out, you find a place, set up an appointment, and honestly, I mean, that sounds really formal, but it's as easy as being like, yo, let's hang out, let's bounce ideas off of each other. I think what I usually do is, I usually break the ice, get to know the other person, and then kind of what I did is, if the person's comfortable, just be like, yeah, so any childhood trauma that we want to get into right now? No, but really, I think the deeper the better. The more you get to know the person, even if you're writing a lighthearted song, the better you can write with them. just because you know them more, and then you may also have parallel experiences and be like, oh my gosh, that happened to you, that also happened to me, and I'm still angry about it, and let's write about that because I'm mad. And I really think it's just all about keeping an open mind, and like Angie said, there's no guarantee that you're gonna love what you come out with on the other end, but there's no harm in trying, and most co-writes that I've had come out on the other side with something that I am proud of. So
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Angie, back to you. What in your mind has contributed most to your growth as an artist and as a writer?
I think just doing it, like writing songs and trying to finish them no matter how bad you might think it is. Because I feel like actually with this next song, well, the last song I'm going to play, it started out one way and I played it that way for years, and then I brought it to someone else who was my producer, and he helped me rewrite it so that it felt more current to me at this point and with the artistry that I'm trying to go for. So I feel like learning to put things away and come back to them has really helped my artistry, because an idea I have today, I might not feel inspired to finish it, but I can always come back to it. And I have like voice memos for days. Like most of my phone storage is from voice memos, because I just will write or say, random ideas or start little licks or whatever. But I think for me that what's helped my writing and my artistry is releasing music, and I've only been doing that since January this year, and I have an album I'm going to put out next year. But I think with each song I release, I kind of see how it does and how people react to it, and maybe it just helps me get closer to what I want to say and what artist I want to be. Just kind of seeing how fans react to that, and I'm not saying I morph what I'm doing based on what my fans want me to do, but also just taking into account what is speaking to them, and that's gonna maybe help me to write more, because I can't just write music for myself. It's kind of got to be universal and for everyone. So in a nutshell, that kind of felt like it was all over, but
No, that's great. And the point of this evening, the Writers Round in general, is to foster a sense of collaboration between all of us here in Utah. And so anybody watching, anyone that's showed up to the previous Writers Rounds to either just watch or to participate, if it's always an open invitation. If you like the way that someone writes or someone's style, just ask them. And most likely they'll say yes. And if they say no, that's okay. Ask somebody else, because that other person will say yes.
It's really...
I'll say yes.
Yeah.
I'll say yes.
And it's nice being here in Utah as the scene is growing, because we're still becoming known as a scene, but the nice thing is most people in Utah are really friendly and nice,
Yeah,
they're not going to
right.
be rude and maybe they won't respond, but they're not going to be no, I don't want to write with you.
Right.
People are friendly.
Yeah.
Worst you can get is no response or a no.
Perfect.
and then you just move on.
You just keep moving.
Just move right along.
All right, cool. Well, like I said, we have one more round, and then tonight is in the past. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. This one is called Clean. So I'm releasing an EP, Lord knows when, but I have written it, and this is the closing song on the EP. Clean is basically a really angsty album, or a really angsty anthem. Of kind of just sticking it to the man and doing your own thing. I think growing up, a lot of people get picked on. I got picked on a bunch, and always felt like there was something wrong with me. When in reality, it was just people that didn't like people who were different than them, and that's kind of stupid, I think. So this song is called Clean, and that's what it's about. So, wrong chord. There we go.
I still studied abroad. Now I'm clean. Oh, I'm clean. Your grandmother's dead now, but you're still trying to impress her ghost, so you're clean. Oh, you're clean. Oh, and I don't wanna go, but Lord knows that I'm a lost cause. And I hope that you know, I never wanna go. You're biting your tongue now. Come on, say it with your chest. Oh, I'm clean. You're biting your tongue now. Come on, say it with your chest. Oh, I'm clean. Oh, I'm clean. And I don't wanna go, but Lord knows that I'm a lost cause. And I hope that you know I never wanna go.
And this is the part where the crowd would sing along if there was a crowd. So if you're at home and want to sing along, go ahead. No one's stopping you.
Sorry, honey, life is a symphony. No more money, least my mind is free. Sorry, honey, give up, it isn't me. Lord knows I'm anything but clean. Sorry, honey, the bruises, the beauty queen. Somewhere sunny, kissing at your feet. Sorry, honey, get up, it isn't me. Lord knows I'm anything but clean. Sorry, honey, bruises, the beauty queen. Somewhere sunny, kissing at your feet. Sorry, honey, give up, it isn't me. Lord knows I'm anything but clean. Sorry, honey, bruises, the beauty queen. Somewhere sunny, kissing at your feet. Sorry, honey, give up, it isn't me. Lord knows I'm anything but clean. La da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da, la da da da, la da da da, la da 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 da. Lord knows I'm anything but clean. La da da da, 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 da. Lord knows I'm anything but clean.
I'm ready for that EP like yesterday. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited.
Same goes for your album.
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you.
excited.
Okay, so this is my last song, and let's just get rid of that. This was, I think, the second song I wrote ever, and it was kind of like the only one, well, of the two. It was one that I've actually felt proud of, and I was like, oh, I could see this maybe doing something. And I wrote it in college in a music theory class. One of our projects was to write a song using, I think, like a Neapolitan chord. I don't even remember what that is, but it's in this song, and just using borrowed chords. So yeah, this was a song that I kind of got like intricate with the harmony, and I felt really cool and like kind of jazzy. And then I also wrote it about my now husband, and just kind of how I was like feeling when we were dating and everything leading up to, you know, where we are now. So this is called Something Special. Something special, something special. Ooh. We've never done this before, but that's okay. It's something new, undiscovered in a way. We've got something good. Don't let it go to waste. Just relax, don't you worry about a thing. Ooh, I'm glad we opened that door. I've never felt this before. You've got something special. You've got something special. You've got something special. It couldn't get much better. My last love didn't cut it, but that's okay. Because you treat me better than he did anyway. Whisper in my ear something sweet to make me cry. And I won't let this special moment pass us by. Ooh, I'm glad we opened that door, 'cause I've never felt this before. You've got something special. You've got something special. You've got something special. It couldn't get much better. When I close my eyes, you're still there. And when you're far away, I still feel you. I love you when you're talking sweet to me. Oh, you've got something. You've got something special. You've got something special. Baby, you've got something special. It couldn't get much better. You've got something special. You've got something special. Baby, you've got something special. It couldn't get much better. Something special. Something. I love it when you're talking sweet to me. Oh, you've got something. you. Thank you.
Your melodies, wow.